hockey, rematch of last season's ACAC final. The Griffins goalie having a tough start to this game. Maybe her first game? Who knows? The Ooks were tested though, firing 25 shots and finding the back of the net 3 times. Sherry Bowles with a 3-point night and Tennille Gard with her first shutout as an Ook. Gard is one of 4 goalies in the lineup this season, but head coach Diana Iwanika is confident with her selection each game.
Well, right now we have the 2 that are kind of splitting the games. That's Tennille Gard and Jill Diachek, probably the 2 with the most experience. It's going to be tough, I think, for the other 2 to get some experience, but that being said, we are going to make an effort to try and get them in there, but we definitely want to be putting our best goalie in to win games.
To men's hockey now. After shutting out the Griffins 7-0 in their first meeting this season, the Ooks would draw a 4-4 tie against them the next night. They swept the Portage Voyageurs this past weekend, out-shooting them 15-1 in 2 games. Assistant coach Mike Gabinet stresses the importance of drawing offense from everyone in the lineup.
That's the one really good thing about our team. We got a lot of depth. So when you can roll lines and it's just constant ways to attack and everybody's doing their job, everybody's contributing, it makes it for a tough night on our opponents, that's for sure. And I thought tonight we deserved a bit better fate. You know, I thought we really took the play to them. The shots were 50-25 or something like that. So that's the way the game works. But I really believe the game's fair. If you play the game the right way, eventually good things will happen. And so I thought our guys made a good effort tonight.
After holding the King's University Eagles to 31 points in both games, Ooks forward Tori Hill and her team were concentrated on staying focused, despite leading by more than half.
We never want to do that. Like, every time we go out, we look at the score and say it's 0-0. We got to come out, play hard no matter what. Because we never want to sit back, because any team can come back. Like, every team can come back from that. So.
Despite a rough start against the Lakeland Rustlers in their weekend series, the team would bounce back in their next game, splitting the series. The men's basketball team played 2 tight games against the Eagles. Donnie Moss finished with 34 points on the first night and 25 the next. Rookie Wyatt Beaver is slowly gaining confidence as well, as his increased playing time on the court is impressing Coach Connolly.
Well, our defense was a little off today. Our goals aren't to win by being a great offensive team, it's to win based on our defense. So we struggled a little bit today, but we pushed through.
A dominating win against the Lakeland Rustlers in the first night tightened up the next game. Moss was another big game, finishing with 9 rebounds and 19 points. To women's volleyball now. After splitting their weekend series with the Grand Prairie College Wolves, the team was hoping to bounce back after their last loss came in straight sets. Unfortunately, it did not happen when they faced the Lakeland Rustlers this past weekend, losing both games in straight sets despite coming close in their second game. The men's team also split their games with the Grand Prairie Wolves, which saw Trevor Zemlak earn 16 points in the first game. They matched up against the Lakeland Rustlers this past weekend, sweeping both games in straight sets. An undefeated regular season and an ACAC gold medal later, it was time for the national.
I think we're anxious to get going. It seems like a long time since we played the provincial final here already. But it's been a kind of a recovery week for us and just trying to get a few things organized and start thinking about our first game and get ready for that.
Ooks Kelsey Langill describes her golden goal.
When I went to take a corner kick, I couldn't even see the color of the ball. It was just snow. So I had to bounce it a few times.
The top-seeded Ooks traveled to Medicine Hat for the CCAA Nationals. Their first game came against the 8th-seeded Mount St. Vincent Mystiques from Halifax. Laura Couts with 2 goals, while CCAA Player of the Year Kayla Michaels added another one to end it 3-0 for the Ooks. The Ooks were in a close game with the Hunsik Indians in the gold medal semis. Action picked up in the second half as Kelsey Mitchell scored the difference goal to defeat Hunsik 2-0 and move on to the gold medal game against the Garneau Ilans. Garneau's strong defense and disciplined play in the match led them to 3 goals in the second half, and taking the gold medal game by a score of 4-0. Your NAIT Ooks are the 2014 CCAA silver medalists. Laura Couts, Kelsey Langill, and Kaylin Newman were named to the tournament all-star team as well. The men's soccer team ranked 3rd in the CCAA going into Oakville, Ontario for the national championships. Taking on the 6th-seeded Garneau Ilans in their first game, the Ooks struggled to find a solution to the Ilans' strong offensive abilities and found themselves down 5 goals in the 70th minute. The Ilans would upset the Ooks 6-0 in the final, and the Ooks moved on to the bronze medal quarterfinal against the Douglas Royals. After a scoreless first half with the Ooks coming close if it were not for a spectacular save by the Royals goalkeeper, the second half saw the Ooks tie the game 1-1 and the go-ahead goal by Monty Haynes as they moved on to the bronze medal semi against the Algonquin Thunder. The first goal didn't come until the 88th minute with a clutch goal by Monty Haynes, and he sends his team to the bronze medal game. In what seemed like a coincidence, the Ooks men's team would meet the Garneau Elands the same day as the women were playing the Garneau Elands in the gold medal final. Getting back to the action though, the game had to be decided in extra time where the Ooks found themselves crawling back into the game with a late tally by Monty Haynes to cut the lead by 1, but ultimately fell short in a 3-2 loss to the Elands. The Ooks will finish 4th in this year's CCAA National Championships. ECAC Rookie of the Year Bruno Zeeby and Monty Haynes were also selected as Tournament All-Stars. The NAIT Ooks women's cross-country team traveled to Calgary to compete in the CCAA National Cross Country Championships this past Saturday. The Ooks were ranked 11th heading into the CCAA Championships and finished 8th in the team event at the race, while Danielle Marks was the top Ook finishing 19th overall.